Well, hello there. Welcome to the Shifts and Pucks News Pack for Thursday, June 30th. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. We haven't done a news pack for most of the week. It's been kind of quiet since the Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, but we have some news. We'll be keeping these up probably until the middle of July is my anticipation. We'll be doing our weekly podcast scheduled to move to Sundays. We have our draft preview with Derek, and I have a couple of other things percolating as we head to the NHL free agency point, so keep an eye on that as well. And so, but we do have some news to get into here the last few days. And we'll get to it here. We've got a new Memorial Cup champion as the Saint first time since 2019 we've crowned as Memorial Cup champion. The St. John's Sea Dogs brought in a new head coach and had 38 days off, and they were able to win the Memorial Cup with a 6-3 win. They were the home team. They hosted the Memorial Cup, and they win it 6-3 over the Hamilton Bulldogs. Second time the St. John's Sea Dogs have won the Memorial Cup in their history. And of course, 6-3. They won the first one in 2011. Jonathan Huberdeau led the way with that team. We had Cameron McDonald, Raleigh Brazeau, William Dufour, who was the player of the tournament. New York Islanders prospect in the 5th round were Key, Josh Lawrence, Peter Reynolds, and the captain, Vincent Sevigny. Flames prospect Ryan Francis, Yan Kuznetsov, and Jerome Poirier also are Memorial Cup winners. And since those Sea Dogs are the first home team to win the Memorial Cup since Windsor in 2017, there is a bunch of controversy about this victory, including the fact, not that the Sea Dogs won, but the fact of how the Sea Dogs won. And let's maybe address this part of this, as the Sea Dogs changed coaches from Gordon Dwyer to their coach, Gardner McPherson. And they won. They had all that time off. They are the home team. They were out in the first round, and Bulldogs were taken to 7 games by the Windsor Spitfires after having a pretty easy OHL playoff run. Gardner McDougall, head coach, pardon my pronunciation there. So Ken Campbell tweeted out that there should be a bit of an asterisk on this, and I don't like that the home team gets the final berth in the Memorial Cup. I think that there needs to be some sort of revamp. I've proposed a March Madness idea to the Memorial Cup, but I think there needs to be a way. By the way, Kamloops hosts next time. Our boss on Area 51, Sean Warren, will be happy about that. I don't think that the home team should have that automatic berth, but I don't think that this is an asterisk for St. John's. I mean, they played within the rules. Yes, they made a change and brought in a guy that I think we're going to hear a lot of, Gardner McDougall. I don't think that this is the last we're going to hear from him. I think he been successful in tournaments in youth sports. I think that was one of the key reasons he was brought in. He brought in a new style. He refreshed what happened with the Sea Dogs. He deserves all the credit in the world. The Sea Dogs deserve all the credit in the world for how well they played. They were the team probably ranked 4th in everybody's mind in coming into this Memorial Cup because of what happened with everybody else. But they walked through the 3 champions and they won. So you have to give them credit. They played well enough to win. They controlled the game. That was 4-2 after 2 periods there. Hamilton was coming after them. But St. John, great goaltending as well in this series, in the game. Nico, their goaltender, want to pronounce his name properly there. He was outstanding. And made some big saves, especially early in the third, where Hamilton had an opportunity to get within one when it was 4-2, because Jan-Mysak scores at 4-2, 9 seconds left in the period. And Nico Hurtubise was outstanding in goal, made the big saves, and St. John deserves credit. That's the way that the tournament was set up that way. They took advantage of it. It's not like the home team has won every single tournament. This is the third consecutive tournament that the Q has won. I do think that there needs to be some sort of revamp. I do think they need to relook. But to call this a joke or an asterisk, sorry, not going to go there. It's St. John. They do deserve the victory. And they deserve the congratulations. So that was last night. We had to trade our first trade in the National Hockey League in the offseason, at least. Of course, we had the Evgeny Dadonov for Shea Weber deal, but Kevin Fiala has been traded from Minnesota to the LA Kings, and of course, officially signed his contract. So Fiala goes to the Kings. He's traded for prospect defenseman Brock Faber. He is a captain of the University of Minnesota, 7th on their prospect board of the Kings, and the first round pick, which is 19th overall in the draft. 85 points, of course, after the Wild bought out Zach Parise and Ryan Suter. They're taking a hefty cap penalties, and it's costing them $12.743 million next year. $14.743 million next year. That happened. That 7-year deal signed. Fiala immediately signed that. It comes with an average AAV of 7.8.75. That he would have been the second highest player in Minnesota, but now he's part of the LA Kings. And you look from the Kings' perspective, they had just a touch more offense. Would they have beaten the Edmonton Oilers in the first round? And no disrespect to the Oilers, like the Kings just didn't have enough offense ultimately to get out of that playoff series with the Oilers that McDavid dominated. That went to 7 games. So that game, Game 7, Jonathan Quick stood on his head. He was outstanding. McDavid was dominant. But if the Kings just got one goal or a couple goals, may have been a different game. So that's what you bring in with Fiala, though. He hasn't been a great playoff performer, though. So we'll see what Kevin Fiala brings. We'll see what Minnesota is going to do. So that was the big trade. Now, still some things going down the pike here. Let's stick with what the course team we're close to here, the Calgary Flames and Johnny Gaudreau. Elliot Friedman said today that the offer for Gaudreau is a significant offer. And he doesn't think teams will match it financially, which the basic thing is he didn't say the amount when he was talking about the Jeff Merrick show. And by the way, I'm no insider. I'm just bringing out this point. The 8-year is the advantage, and teams won't be able to go that extra year. But so it's now in Johnny's camp what he wants to do, and basically that is the reference there. So I'm not saying that he is going to sign. I'm not saying I'm an NHL insider, by the way. Just listening to the news. So I'm not. My name is not Trust Me Bro. So that is where I go there. As far as Nashville goes, of course, their big question is Philip Forsberg. And David Poyle said earlier that the deal, if they get one with Forsberg, would be with 8 years. So it sounds like, according to Darren Dreger, This is a tweet he posted just before it went on. Not a lot of progress in ongoing discussions between Forsberg and the Preds. The gap is believed to be less than $1 million per year, but on an 8-year term, it'll be easy to see why this will come down to the wire. So they're going back and forth. We'll see what happens. I'm leaning towards the idea that Forsberg stays in Nashville, but we'll see on that situation as well. And then, of course, there'll be a lot of other unrestricted free agent moves. That's all going on the 13th there. Colorado Avalanche, they are celebrating their parade. They're having their Stanley Cup parade today. Of course, winning the Stanley Cup on Sunday, having that parade today. By the way, St. John Sea Dogs had their Memorial Cup parade coming up, I think, tomorrow as well. So they're celebrating, but they've got a lot of questions, of course. Nazem Kadri, big what you do with him. Valerie Nikushkin, Tampa Bay, big questions as well. Nick Paul, Andre Palat, big questions there as well. Other news to touch on, a couple of other, before I wanted to get into Hockey Canada here. Some other news here. Emily Engel-Nitzke will become the first woman to work full-time in an NHL coaching staff. And she has been hired as the Washington Capitals video coordinator. She spent the last 2 seasons as a video coach for the AHL's Hershey Bears. She is so congratulations to her and that new position there. And as big move for her. 2 years with the Hershey Bears. As mentioned, we've seen a number of moves to having women on staffs. Marie-Philippe Poulin is part of the Montreal Canadiens staff, as an example. Emily Castonguay in the management. Rachel Dory as well. Cami Granado in the Canucks organization. So Engel-Nitzke says this has been a goal for a long time. I really can't think of a better scenario personally to step into. So it's a big thing. She began working as a full-time video coach for the University of Wisconsin's men's hockey coach, Tony Granado. She's assisted with both the men's and women's program in the University of Wisconsin. She's played 2 seasons of division hockey at Adrian College. Engel-Nitzke was able to work in Hershey, presenting 5-on-5 scouting reports for opponents and becoming more involved in day-to-day operations of the team, according to some articles. So congratulations to her. That's a big move there for her. And then the Ottawa Senators also have some news today, and they promoted Trent Mann and hire a new assistant general manager as well. As this is according to a news release. They've named 2 new assistant general managers. Mann was promoted from chief amateur scout, and former director of professional scouting with the Pittsburgh Penguins, Ryan Bowness, start tomorrow with the Ottawa Senators. Mann is 48. He's been an amateur scout since October 2016. Full-time role with the club since 2014. Bonus spent the last 6 seasons with the Penguins, the last 3 campaigns as the team's director of professional scouting, including the 2017 Stanley Cup team. He spent 7 seasons as a member of the Winnipeg Jets hockey operations department / Atlanta Thrashers hockey department. He played 4 seasons of college hockey with the Huskies and played major junior with the Brampton Battalion and the Oshawa Janitors. And of course, yes, if the name sounds familiar, he's the son of head coach Rick Bowness. Hockey Canada, of course, they've been in the news this week. Monday, Scotiabank and Canadian Tire announced that they are pausing sponsorship funding. Yesterday, Tim Hortons and TELUS also announced that they're pausing funding, and now Swiss Chalet and the Keg have also announced that they are pausing funding right now. So 6 sponsors have stepped in to have announced that they're pausing funding. Whether you think that they're big or significant or not, it is a thing here. This is the statement from Swiss Chalet and the Keg, tweeted by Katie Strang. In light of recent news and events surrounding Hockey Canada, it has been decided that Recipe, Swiss Chalet, and the Keg will suspend partnership support effective immediately. Our company focuses on creating inclusive and safe spaces for our teammates and guests, and we expect the same for our partners. We will continue to be in contact with Hockey Canada to outline our expectations for change and to ensure the right steps are being taken to pave a safer and more inclusive future for hockey in Canada. So there was also another one as well here, as BDO Canada has also announced that they are also going to be pausing their sponsorship. BDO's culture is rooted in values of integrity and respect. These values are important to our relationships with our people, our clients, and communities, and our strategic partnerships with internal organizations. Our support of Hockey Canada is intended to help grow the support in a positive way in communities across Canada. I am deeply disturbed by the news of the alleged assault involving members of the Canadian Hockey League, and the lack of transparency and accountability is counter to the values of our organization, and BDO wants to understand what specific changes are being made within the Hockey Canada organization to drive a positive environment. As part of our call for change, we're pausing our partnership with Hockey Canada and will continue to evaluate the ongoing situation. We expect Hockey Canada to move swiftly and to create a culture where hockey is safe and inclusive for all. That's from Pat Kramer, from Chief Executive Officer, BDO Canada. So lots happening there. Hockey Canada under a tremendous amount of pressure to move forward swiftly, quickly, and rightly on what they're going to be doing to make changes. And you wonder, the one name that you're wondering about, and I'm just wondering about, is TSN. Rick Westhead, of course, covers a lot of these very situations with TSN. We talked about this on Monday, the fact that some of these sponsorships, some of these sponsors, I mean, I think will hit Hockey Canada really hard and make people think, but I think the big hammer, if TSN says no, that is an even bigger significant one. So I think there's still a lot more to go on with this Hockey Canada story. It is important to keep an eye on. Victor Mente said that he was part of that 2018 team. He said he did not attend the gala in question. He posted a statement on Twitter that he's disgusted. There's going to be more on this. This is not a story that is going to go away at any time. We've got the World Juniors coming up in August. That's, of course, was put from the canceled World Juniors, or the paused World Juniors from last Christmas for COVID. Lots of questions. It's be something very interesting to watch here in July as we get into here. As much as the transactions, coaching hires, trades, and everything else that is going on, this will be something to watch as well. It has to be, especially when we're talking about inclusivity in hockey. Just wanted to give two more quick things here. Back to the assistant coaches. Alan Nezardine looks like he's going to be part of Pete DeBoer's staff in Dallas. They made that announcement today. Want to give a shout out to Morning Man for 15 years at Sportsnet 960, Boomer in the morning. Part of that, he's, may remember Andrew Walker, Rhett Warner, several people come through there. He's been a staple in Calgary for years. He signed off the radio today. Congratulations to him. He's been a huge part of the sports community in Calgary, and whatever Boomer does next, it will be great, and all the best to him. So that is the news for today. Of course, you can follow us all individually on Twitter. Sean Beardy Canuck03, Tyler TNOBLE. We have Devin Goiner Howe 09, Christian Schneids, SCHNEIDZ. I am KEVOLE, Shifts and Pucks, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. We'll talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.